Hello, welcome to Tarot and Oracle for the Soul. I'm Sarah, and this week I'm doing Show Us Your Decks Tarot tag. I saw this first from Kim at Witchy Wallflower, and this is originally created by Feeding My Soul 1212. The first question is a deck you want to use, but for whatever reason hasn't seen any playtime on your desk. So that would be the Tarot Illuminati. Back when I started watching TarotTube, really getting into it in 2017, this deck was everywhere, all over it, and I just bought decks. No rhyme or reason, just if TarotTube said it was good, I bought it. I have become a lot more discerning. As my husband says, I can't have every deck. I would like to have every deck, but I can't have every deck. It's just, we can't fill the house with just tarot decks. You don't need every deck. And I have decks that I've had for years and years and years, and I have not used. So this book looks really good. It is in full color on like super glossy like print paper, I would say. Let's see. It's 153 pages, and then you have the about the author and look for this deck on Facebook. And then it talks about that there's a journal and the bag, which we used to sell that tarot bag at the New Age bookstore I worked at in Phoenix. And it also has about the author. So the author is Eric C. Dunn, and the artist is Kim Huggins. This looks so good, and I'm sure that why everyone loved this is because of this book. It does look really, really good. You have introduction, you have a few card spreads. We have the sun, moon, and stars spread, the planetary spread, the lighting and lantern spread, the rising sun spread, and then we have how to learn tarot, keeping a journal, daily draw, interpreting the cards, and then we have major arcana, and it talks a little about that, and then astrology in the major arcana, so that's really cool. And then you get a full page and write up, and then you get a full picture, and so it looks like this. So you guys, honestly, other than when I opened it and then like flipping through it, I haven't read the book. I need to read the book. The cards are gilded. So that is my plan for this year, is to really work with all of the decks that I have and reading all my tarot books and rereading my tarot books. So that is a goal of mine for this year. Oh my gosh, I love this Seven of Swords. That is a really awesome Seven of Swords. I love it. So it's cool. It's kind of like fantasy art mixed with like the Renaissance, mixed with some like whimsy, and it kind of looks like collage. It kind of looks like photos within like paintings, or maybe it's digital art. I'm not sure. But this is definitely a very unique deck in terms of the pictures and the artwork. All right, you guys, like, check out this devil. Like, okay, what? So yeah, the people look like they're photos, and then it looks like maybe computer images around it. So this was released in like 2013, but yeah, so I definitely need to work with this deck and like read the book and check it out. Back in 2017 on TarotTube, this deck was like all the rage. So 2. The 12th deck from the right on your tarot shelf. Now this was difficult to do because I have tarot decks all over the house. So the 12th deck is actually an oracle deck, and it's Deep, Dark, and Dangerous Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. I love this outer box. It's like very, it feels like cloth actually. And then I love the snake inside. It's on the top and the bottom cover. This is by Rockpool. And these are deliciously edged in red. And we have a deck for shadow work. And these are kind of similar. They look like photographs and then like computer generated. So you have like a little keyword. So for dragon, it says treasure and then it says dragon. For the Kelpie, we have warning. For hell, we have acceptance. For vampire, we have hunger. Ooh, I love this mermaid card. For mermaid, we have beauty. For Callie, we have love, which is very cool. For the Kraken, we have mystery. For Hecate, we have illumination. Very fitting. Werewolf, we have change. Cirque, we have alchemy. And Sybil, we have foresight. So I didn't show you all the cards, but that's pretty much half the deck. So we have introduction about this oracle, the cards. So it's divided into deep, and then we have 17 cards for deep. We have dark, which is probably about 17 cards, and then dangerous. About this oracle, these are the following structural elements on each card: the name of the subject of the card, the message of the card, duality, the often paradoxical themes of the card and the subject can be seen as a light and shadow, the description, the plant companion, the plant that offers the essence magic of the message that you might wish to further use in your workings, the crystal companion, the crystal that offers the essence magic of the message you might wish to further use in your workings. And then you have 1 card divination again, like they always seem to do that, and then 3 card draw, and then the 4 element spread, traditional 7 card spread, and a timing spread. So you get 2 to 3 pages for each. So shadow, we have depth, shadow, and then it says seek balance, and then duality, and it has like it looks like a little poem, and then it talks about Carl Jung. And then we have mandrake as the plant companion and black obsidian as the crystal companion. Now for the second card, for freedom, for Selkie, it actually is a little bit longer. It's 3 pages. Question number 3, a deck you are thinking about rehoming. So this was another deck that I purchased when I just started watching TarotTube, and was like, oh, everyone loves this, I've got to have it. And I understand why, because it's a Barbara Moore deck, and Barbara Moore decks are really good. This is the Steampunk Tarot, illustrated by Ali Fell. So it's in this gorgeous box. I love boxes like this. And I mean, look at the inside, like it's gorgeous. I just am not a steampunk person, so why in the world would I want a steampunk deck? I don't know. And the cards are really dark. I'm not like into really dark cards. So I had bought Ian Daniels' Vampire Tarot as well. I kept the book because that's really what I wanted, and I gave the cards to my boyfriend, who is now my husband. So he has the cards, I have the book, and we're happy. But I'm not really into dark cards. I asked my husband if he wanted this deck, and he said no. Like, he's not really into steampunk either. But yeah, just like look at how dark these cards are. They're just very dark. I mean, the photos are beautiful. Like, this is a gorgeous lover's card. But, and this Queen of Pentacles is cool. So I should, you know, try to play with it and like see if anything speaks to me. But if it doesn't, I think that this is definitely a deck that I will try to sell or rehome. I mean, I have rehomed other decks that I've worked with. Like, if I work with a deck and I just don't connect with the images or the book and I don't really feel any value to owning it, I will like either do a trade or give it to someone. Like, I had the Good Tarot and I had a coworker who was showing interest in asking me about tarot, and I knew she was very Christian, so I gave her the Good Tarot so she could kind of like look into it, because I felt like maybe, you know, the images were really soft and really gentle. So I don't know if she ever played with it or not, but I gifted that deck to her. So this came out in 2017, of course. So we have for contents, introduction, tarot basics, and then we have the major arcana and their spreads. So let's go look at the spreads. So this is like a gorgeous book. It's not in full color, which is fine. I don't need a full color picture when I have the decks, right? So it's like a little over a page. We have like card basics, the one card wonder, adaptable spreads, past, present, future. Like, that's like in every panoramic photograph spread. That looks cool. The difference engine spread, and then there is a sample reading of that, and then farewell. And it looks like there's like a page for notes. So you have the deck, about the deck, anatomy of a reading, uses, and it gives you like a list of simple questions that would be like valid questions, like good questions to ask, because it is truly more specific, then the better the reading is. So here's 11 questions. Will I get a boyfriend soon? Is my husband cheating on me? How can I find the right job for me at this time? What do I need to know about my relationship? Do I have cancer? I don't know if I would ask that. I don't think that's a good I don't think yes or no are good questions. So I'm not going to continue reading because I haven't read the book yet and I'm already disagreeing. So, and that's fine. I mean, as you read more books and you practice more, you may disagree with professionals. And I know Barbara Moore is considered a master of the craft, right? Like, she's a teacher, like she knows her stuff, but we all have our own experiences and backgrounds with reading. And yes or no questions are not good questions, and health related questions, I think that kind of gets sticky. I wouldn't recommend asking health questions unless you are a medical intuitive, maybe. But I think medical stuff should stay with medical. I feel like legal issues might be a problem with that type of question. I personally would not be comfortable asking a reader, do I have cancer? I think that's inappropriate. I also think it's inappropriate to say, like, to ask about somebody else, even like, unless you're asking like, how would this relationship affect me, or like the outcome of our relationship, like, will my husband get a job? I don't think you should ask that question. Or even, is my husband cheating? Now, I kind of have answered a question sort of similar, but it was asked a different way. I did it in a way that I wasn't violating somebody's privacy. because I don't think you should read on third parties. The question should be focused on the current and like their life, because we don't have control over other people, and I personally wouldn't want people asking about me. And I think it's like nobody's business. So, but that's again an ethics call that you have to make for yourself. All right, question 4. A deck you don't store in its original box, and why? All right, so I'm finding as I'm using more of these decks that I don't want to store boxes like the decks in the tuck boxes. So like I have the Blacklight Tarot and it's like ripped. And so like this is literally, it comes from Tarot Collectibles, but it really is like a collectible. And if the box is all ripped up, like how would I be able to, you know, sell it in the future? So I'm thinking I'm going to take it out of the tuck box and put it in a pouch, which is what I do with my Psychic Tarot and my Psychic Card Tarot. And having it in a pouch makes it easier. And I put the book in here too, because those are the 2 decks I read with the most and I carry around with me when I do professional readings. So not having it in the box is lighter and more compact and easier to bring with me, because I do usually bring about 2 or 3 tarot decks, and I usually bring 1 or 2 oracle decks with me. Plus I bring a candle, and I bring like incense spray. I have like sage and lavender or sage, and I usually spray it and spray my hands after each tarot reading I give, and like spritz down the area to disperse whatever energy was there. So the next person doesn't like have residue from the previous person. So I bring like all this stuff with me. So if I had it in the box, it would take up more room. But this is the Psychic Tarot by John Holland. And the book is okay, but really it's super intuitive. You don't need the book. You don't even really need to know anything about tarot to be able to read with this deck. I love these decks. And it's interesting because the Good Tarot isn't too much different than this, but I love his decks because he has the chakra cards. There's no court cards, which is really nice. And it's just the major arcana, and then you have the 4 different suits and no court cards, which I love that. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I get a court card, I'm like, oh, yuck. Unless it's the Queen of Swords. I love the Queen of Swords, but that's my card. Or the King of Pentacles. That's my husband. So he's the King of Pentacles. The suits have been renamed. Like Death is called Transformation. The Devil is renamed Temptation. Instead of the Tower, you have Disruption. So the major arcana have been changed. And then instead of Pentacles, it's called Physical, and that's the red border, and it goes up to 9. And then you have, instead of Pentacles, you have Emotions, green border. For Mental is the indigo, and that takes the place of Swords. Now it's kind of cool, like Triumphant Success for the Ace of Swords. It actually has a sword on it in the guidebook, well, on the card. And then Spirit, which is Wands, is the violet border. And then you have, like I said, the chakras. You have the 7 main chakras. And then it has a recommended resource list of other books to read, as well as about the artist and about the author. The author is John Holland, and the artist is John Matson. And of course, it's a Hay House deck. And I like these. They're big. They're oracle size. They're more oracle size than, say, tarot sized. But since they're shiny, they shuffle really, really nicely. So even though they're a little big, they're not too big. But I am starting to want to put more decks and store them like this, because I am just finding that it's easier to get to. And when I learned tarot, I was told to not keep them in the boxes like this. So a lot of my earliest decks I have thrown out the box, and they're all in these. So I'd say about like my first 4 or 5 decks that I purchased are all in bags. And it wasn't until like 2017 when I started collecting tarot that I started keeping the boxes. And for like long-term storage, keeping the boxes is nice, but if you're actually going to use your cards, it's a pain in the butt. A deck with more or less than 78 cards. So any of the tarot collectible cards will have more than 78. They give you 2 Fools, and sometimes they give you like 2 of the Lovers or 2 of like a random card. And then this one, so and it's interesting because, well, this one, the Fool is actually different. So you have this option or this option for the Fool. So that's kind of cool. So you can pick which Fool you want. But this one also comes with a bonus. We have the Trippin' Squirrel. So I don't know. There's no guidebook with this. So I don't know what the Trippin' Squirrel represents. I guess it can mean whatever you want it to mean. Check out the backs. And some of the cards have been renamed. So like the Hierophant is the Guru, and it says love. There is some minor nudity in the deck, but not too much. And I love the Wheel of Fortune. It says luck and chance. Well, really luck, chance. With the big peace sign, I love that. This is the coolest hangman ever. I love this Temperance card. And we also get 2 worlds. So you can pick I don't want to have to edit this one. So just know that there is a woman and she's naked underneath here. And then this one. So you get 2 worlds as well. So this has extra cards where you can either pick, and then it has the extra just bonus card of the Trippin' Squirrel. And I feel like most tarot collectible decks are more than 78. They always have, I want to say the other one I have, the other deck, the Trippin' Tarot has 2 Fools and like 2 Kings, and I don't know, it just is random, but they're both the same. Both the Fool, like the 2 Fools are the same and the 2 Kings are the same, so I'm not sure why that is. Question 6, a deck with a cloud on the box. So that would be The Gill by Elizabeth Josephine Gill. And this is a Thoth-based deck rather than a Rider-Waite-Smith clone. And you have the Tree of Life on the backs, which is really cool. All right. Question 7, a deck you've never shown on your channel, and that would be Revelations Tarot by Zach Wong. Again, this is a deck that I bought due to tarot tubers saying it was like awesome, such a good book. So it's another deck that I absolutely need to actually use. I don't think I've ever read with this deck. I have not read the book. And surprise, surprise, it's from 2017. But this is cool. It just has the preface, and then it jumps right into the major arcana, and it gives you, so like the Fool, it says, he is a free spirit without worry and full of optimism while embarking on a new journey. He sees the world with fresh new eyes. His views are unconventional. And then it says what the card symbolizes, and then it gives you, so it gives you the upright and then the reversed, and then it gives you the images and symbolism. So on this Fool card, there's a butterfly. It says the butterfly represents the chasing of the childlike dream. The baby in the rose symbolizes the innocence of the beginning of a journey. So I think that's really cool. I'm sure that that's why people really like that. It gives uprights and reversals, and it talks about the symbols and what they mean. So that really helps you break down the cards and the meanings. And it does that even for the minors. So that's really nice. And then there's some spreads in the back. You have past, present, future, of course, again. The 4 element spread. 7 days spread. The horoscope spread. And that is it. And then it talks, there's like a listing of other tarot decks for sale. So here are the backs, and then here are the cards. And then even, this is cool, they give you an extra, so if you didn't want to keep the book open, they give you little cards with the 7-day spread and the horoscope spread. So you can just lay it out and then lay your cards down. So I must have read with these because like they're looking like they're out of order, and they're kind of like there's some upside down. Wow, this is like the trippiest tower I have ever seen. Look at that tower. So I don't know, I haven't seen this deck talked about on TarotTube recently. Like I said, I started watching TarotTube in 2017. I went crazy if the TarotTubers said to get a deck. I got a deck. I started working at a new age shop like shortly after. That was dangerous. Plus my full-time job. Needless to say, I spent most of the money I made in the shop. And then I started my original YouTube channel in like the very end in December, I think, of 2019. And it started out as tarot. But as more and more family members found me, they were like, oh, tarot again? Oh, tarot again? We want to see something else. And that's like, it's not for you. So that's how my channel morphed into something more than tarot. So here's the symbolism. This is the Fool card. You've got the butterfly, you've got the rose with the baby, you've got the mountains. So this deck looks interesting. I'm definitely going to have to play with this deck. I like the use of color. It's not like too dark. There's colors. They are darker and more saturated in coloring. But and the artwork is interesting. It's kind of abstract, but not so abstract that there's no story. There is still a story, and with the colors, it evokes feeling. I am not a fan of black and white decks, and I'm not a fan of super abstract where I don't see any symbolism at all. I have to have some symbols that are traditional, so I know what we're working with. This is such a unique devil card. I like this devil card. All right, so that is the Revelations Tarot. So Revelations Tarot, it says, tarot cards are much like mirrors. They reflect back to us an image of reality, but not reality itself. If a mirror is dusty, we cannot see ourselves clearly. If it is very old, it may be warped and reflect a distorted image. If we are struggling with our own inner demons, what we see in the mirror may be very different from the way others see us. One of the challenges in any tarot reading is to examine the many possible shades of meaning for each card and arrive at an accurate and constructive interpretation. We must gaze into the tarot's mirror and form our own picture of the reading. With fully realized artwork in both upright and reverse positions, the Revelations Tarot is utterly unique in its design and its ability to bring light and clarity to the murky world of our subconscious. Each character portrayed in the major arcana wears a mask, indicating the archetypal qualities of the majors. The minor arcana cards are expressions of the four elements, earth, air, fire, water, and convey these qualities in vibrant depictions of magicians, warriors, mermaids, and other mythic creatures that help you turn tarot readings into a rich narrative telling the story of your life. Zach Wong grew up in Malaysia, where he studied Western and Asian mythology. He now lives in Australia, has a degree in architecture, and works in illustration and graphic design. So this is by Llewellyn. So I'm actually looking forward to trying this out. I think it looks really good. I like that it gives a lot of information about the cards, upright, reversals, and the symbol meanings, but you don't have a lot of extra words. You know, it just jumps right into the cards, and I really appreciate that. I like a tarot book that lets you just get started. I just want to use the cards. That's why I bought it. I honestly don't really read tarot books from front to end. I know a lot of people do. I don't. So I want to be able to just jump in and use the cards and see how they read. So I appreciate that. This one I am actually really looking forward to trying out. Question 8, a deck that doesn't have a lion in the strength card. All right, so that would be in the Boo Tarot. And this deck is really cute. It's all about, it has ghosts everywhere. So instead of having a lion, we have a bat. So this deck is super cute. All right, a deck that comes in a box inside another box. So that would be the Mystical Shaman Oracle. So it's got this cover, and then it's got this box, and then you have another big box. So they don't make it easy to get into. And then the cards are super cardboardy and really thick. Now, if you get the mini size of this deck, it's much better. The cards are thinner and better quality, easier to shuffle. My husband has the mini, and I'm honestly jealous. This was actually his deck. He didn't like how big and bulky this was, so he gave it to me. A deck that would not appear in your top 10 favorites, that would be the Prism Tarot Brilliant Cut, created by Liz Landis. And I'm sure you can all guess, if you've seen this deck, why it would not hit my top 10 or really even my top 20. So here's the back. It's kind of like a mirror. It looks like an obsidian mirror. The edging is nice. It's silver. But this is the abstraction that I'm talking about. It's just very abstract. There is some symbolism in it, so that's why I've kept it. I like the colors. And that's really why I wanted this deck, because I did like the colors. And then it comes with this large Tree of Life poster, which is cool. So I like that. But I have worked with this deck a few times, and I just have a really difficult time connecting with it. But I I'm not ready to rehome it because, again, I like the colors and I like the idea of it. I just keep hoping that something within my brain shifts and clicks and that I do connect with this deck because it is really pretty. And then we have this extra bonus card, the Void, which is cool. It's like the only really like dark card in the deck. Oh no, it's not the only dark one. We have this one as well. I don't remember what this one is. Let's see if I can find it. So in this was created in 2020 and started out as a Kickstarter, but I didn't get it on Kickstarter. I don't really do Kickstarter. It scares me. I got this off Etsy. So we have Introduction, Anatomy of a Car, Color, Numerology, the Minor, the Royal Court, the Wands, Cups, Swords, Pentacles, the Major Arcana, the Prism and the Void, the Tree of Life, the Astral Calendar, Reading Tips, 3-card spread, the Compass spread, Wheel of Fortune spread, Prism spread, Dominion, and more info. This one's the Prism. And I was right, this one is the Void. A deck you associate with the color green, that would be the Earth Wisdom Oracle by Barbara Moore. See, I do like some of her decks. The steampunk deck is just not my, it's not my vibe. And that's okay, but so the backs are green, and then there's green on all of the cards. Or most of the cards. I don't know what I'm showing you guys, but I've shown this deck in my green and Celtic decks review, so you can see that there. I do like this deck, and I do like the book. The book is really good. It's short and sweet and concise, and that's what I like. I love a concise book. So we have the herb to work with, the gemstone, and then it's kind of like a mantra. It's kind of a long mantra. So like for card 13, which is awareness, it's mugwort, moonstone, and then it says, I pay attention to the whole world, the seen and the unseen. I look below appearances and see the truth beneath. I continually strengthen my seeing skills. Short, sweet, concise. I love that. Like, give me a book that's like that and I'm happy. I love this deck. Question 12, a secondhand, pre-loved, pre-owned deck. And that would be Secrets of the Mystic Grove, written by Arwen Lynch, artwork by Mary, looks like Alan Thomas. And I use this deck for journaling more than for, I don't use this for divination. This is definitely a journaling deck. It gives you journaling prompts. And it's just a very like sweet, gentle deck. So let's say I just opened to 29, winning. So it gives keywords, succeeding, victory, outcomes. Then it gives like a write-up about the card, and then it says journal prompts. What is the thing I want most? What am I willing to do to get it? Are there other possible outcomes I should consider? So short, sweet, like to the point. I like the keywords and the writing prompts, so you can kind of dive deep and, you know, think about, you know, the questions. So I picked this up secondhand somewhere. I don't know if I got it off eBay or Amazon, or I'm not sure, but or one of those like book outlets or something. But this was, as you can see, pre-loved. It came in really good shape though. Like the cards are in good condition, and the boxes too. So someone who purchased this took good care of it. Question 13, a deck in your collection with the most used guidebook. This is like one of the newest. I got this month, or I should say last month. I got it in April. Tarot of Hearts by Isabel Hayes. I love this book. It is chunky. It is thick. It is informative. This book is 287 pages. I mean, that's one page of notes. So it's 286 pages with me, Isabel. And I just absolutely love the book. I love the take on the cards. It's just stunningly gorgeous. So we have dedication, introduction, upright and reverse cards, the major arcana, the minor arcana, the heart spread, with gratitude, and then meet Isabel. And this book is just amazing. So for the Fool, it says, lights, camera, action. The Fool, with his high-spirited essence of life, is here to share his talents and sunny disposition. The Fool represents our energetic essence and carefree spirit, and he reminds us to tap into our innocence. So it talks about the card, the symbols, why that's there, and then it says the heart speaks, keywords. So you have open and closed rather than upright and reversed. And then there is a quote from an actor, comedian, author, artist. So this quote is, to travel is to take a journey into yourself. Danny Kaye, 1911 to 1987, who was an American actor, singer, dancer, and comedian. So you get almost 4 pages of information, but it's good information. It doesn't feel like information overload, like some decks just, I'm like, okay, just get to the message. Some books just tell you what the images are or what the painting is, and I'm like, that's not why I want a book. So I was reading with the Gill Tarot, which is also new to my collection, and the guidebook is really bad. It gives you nothing. And so I pulled the hearts, the Tarot of Hearts, the hearts, and it's just, it makes every reading so much better. Question 14, a deck with water on the box. So that's easy. That would be the Mermaid Tarot by Lisa Robertson, illustrated by Julie Dillon. All right, a deck with your favorite card and why. So you guys, I couldn't narrow it down. I picked a bunch of cards from the Adventure Tarot. This tarot is so good. I love the paper, like the backs, the paper, like quality. I just really, really like that. Now, I really like this Fool. I like green. Like, green is one of my favorite colors. I love, like, just how cute and, like, fun and playful. Like, she's so excited. She's starting out on her road trip, the open road, all the possibilities, all the fun. There's so many things that are going to happen that you can't plan for. I love a good road trip. Like, I live for road trips. I love road trips. Like, I've driven cross country more times than I can count. I think I'm up to 6 times now. I love driving. As I'm getting older, I don't love it as much, but if you can do it, if you could do a road trip and drive cross country at least, you know, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times in your 20s, do it, because it will never be as easy as that again. I also love this moon card from the Adventure Tarot because, I mean, hello, she's dancing in the moonlight. Like, I love going to outside raves and just dancing under the moon. I love a good full moon. Give me a full moon party any day. Like, come on. Like, I love this. And then this deck is the Scout of Cups. So fun. I love the colors. I love their excitement. They're having fun. It's girlfriends just spending quality time together without a care in the world. Like, I love it. I have 3 cards from the Desert Illuminations Tarot. I love the desert. It's my favorite place. Love the desert. This card is so great. I love the trickster. I love that the color of the coyote. I love all the butterflies. I love the scenery. Like, I love his orange bandana. I just love this card. I think it's gorgeous. I love the scenery. Like, aliens, not so much, but just the whole composition of this card and the colors and the cactus and just everything. Love it. This one, hello, it's friends. It's, you know, they're having fun. It's just a vibe. And then this Wheel of Fortune, like I said in another video, a previous video, I would get this tattooed on me. Like, this looks like a tattoo. I love it. And, like, look at the backs. So you guys, I couldn't pick just one. Like, I'm a Gemini, like don't make me pick one, okay? Like I'm multifaceted. I'm as multifaceted as this ring. I can't, don't make me pick one. It's gonna change from day to day. It's gonna change on my personality for the day that I decide to choose. It's gonna depend on my mood. How did I wake up? How much sleep did I get? What do I feel? Am I feeling introverted or am I feeling extroverted? Do I want to go on a road trip or do I not? So yeah, I couldn't pick just one. All right, well, thank you for watching. Have fun. Keep on shuffling. See you next time. Bye.